My name is Seraphina the Masked Lady. I was once human. Since then, I have lived many lives. I have been loved and reviled, adored and despised, been the child of a poor prostitute and a courtesan revered by thousands. When I was a child, a stranger with no face offered me the ability to move between the worlds. Since then, my every death has led to a new life. I once had a true love. He was ripped away from me when I was murdered in the 18th century. I search for him still. In the meantime, I walk in the shadows behind the universe, visiting realms both exquisite and terrible and bringing back stories and rhymes to amaze the mind and enchant the ear. Through my YouTube channel, I send the stories out into the world, hoping that my true love will hear them and reply. Hoping, if he does not, that I will find in the other souls who listen kindred spirits to help ease the pain. What of you, stranger? Did you come here tonight seeking a mystery? Do you hunger for a spark of excitement, for the dark thrill of fear? Will you listen as my tales unfold, knowing that some may very well take on lives of their own? Consider, stranger, whether you have the courage to walk between the worlds with Seraphina the Masked Lady. Hello, my delicious darlings, and a happy new year to you all. I can't believe 2024 is already here. How did you celebrate the coming of a fresh year? Did you celebrate it all? Over the years, I have grown out of loud parties and too much drinking. That said, intelligent talk, good food with friends, and a bottle or two of fine champagne definitely put a smile on my face. Today's episode hails from the wasteland between festivals. The poems are full of scares that sneak and slither around us, attacking when we are most unaware. Don't worry, I have plenty of chills and creeps ready for the coming weeks. For now, enjoy. I'll see you at the end of the episode, if you make it. A hellish engagement. The band is thin and white gold, and set with rubies bright. I knew on sight that it was mine. I slipped it on last night. Then I shuddered with the horror that filled me up inside. For words were inscribed on the band. They read, "For Satan's bride." The relics. If you go out walking late at night on a New Year's Eve, after the lanterns have been doused, and you'd nearly believe that all the people, noise, and joy have at once disappeared, leaving you abandoned in a place that all men should fear. If you seek out the frigid hours shunned by mere mortal man, I won't deny you your delight, but I bid you understand. You must remember danger hides where bats squeak in the dark, and in the bleak, uncharted wilds where werewolves make their mark. Strange things, not human, but once man stalk lonely roads at night. And in tunnels beneath the streets creep things that shun the light. But should you seek a quiet way far from the warmth of home, rather than walk through your hometown, be sure you walk alone. If not, you may not find your way back to your bed at dawn. And those who love you will soon find they have new cause to mourn. So, if you go out walking late on a New Year's night, and the moon sailing from behind the clouds beguiles your sight, then while you're staring at the sky, a little hand takes yours. Don't think you've found an innocent sadly left out of doors. Oh no! You must your hand withdraw and hurry till you've found, somewhere, the shadow of a kirk, a piece of holy ground. You need to seek, and there must stay until the break of day, lest the owner of those fingers should steal your life away. What might it be, I hear you ask, that should cause you such dread, that I might cease my nightly rounds and early seek my bed? What creature stalks the streets seeking new strangers to accost? I can tell you in 5 brief words. The relics of the lost. The relics of the lost were children once, all dear and good. They never gave their mothers care. They did just what they should. Indeed, it was their sweet nature, so gentle and so mild, that drew the eyes of beings who would lure a mortal child. Those beings had been women once who had pined day by day, to have a baby of their own, then denied, passed away. Deprived of rest by longing's pang, they'd risen up once more, as hungry fiends with dead white eyes that live on midnight's shore, and swim upon the tides of night, singing songs soft and sweet, drawing children from their mothers to meet them in the street, that they might take them for their own. But woe, oh woe betide, the child who hearkens to their call and hurries to their side. The women are not human now, they love and live no more. They have no warmth or hope to share, can no longer adore the trusting souls that look to them. Their hunger now is spite, and as they cannot birth a child, they now devour them quite. The children are not those creatures so sharp of appetite, who sing to little children in the silence of the night. Instead, they are what remains, hidden from the light of day, of the souls of the children whose bodies have passed away. They should have gone to heaven, the children so dear and mild. But the angel who escorts home the spirit of each child cannot find those who've been ravaged by the hungry ghosts rare. So, the babes are bound to this world of trial and of care. The weak halves, fragments of good souls left lost and all alone, wander in sadness through the world until they turn to stone. Finally, they develop the hunger that caused their deaths, and they become hunters of everything that still draws breath. The relics cannot walk abroad while daylight's on the ground. When the sun's in the upper sky, the creatures can be found in dark places beneath old trees, in caves and shadow-bound, or crawling in the cobweb tunnels deep beneath the ground. Their hunger grows as they hide there, and their bitter nest too. They spend their time on plans of giving mankind cause to rue. Do not despair, for mankind is not without succor. The good Lord watches over and defends us in our war. For 364 days, he keeps death from our side. But when the new year comes around, death will not be denied. When church bells strike midnight, even heaven cannot do more than urge us to stay safe and sound behind our strong front door. They prayed that we'll stay secure when the fragile world veil thins, and those dead we've wronged walk abroad, reminding us of sins. Should we choose to ignore that plea, we must then be aware of the dry, rustling relics that would draw us to their lair. So if you go walking alone and feel a hand in yours, seek holy ground and pray for aid, or never turn home more. The moon. The moon is bright on this dark night, so fair that few believe. How it gilds silvery treetops, though it is New Year's Eve. Although the silver orb glows fair, no children roam the street. No friends call hi to each other or on street corners meet, because they know that beyond the town, a foul ghost walks the night. A spirit who hungers, not content to feast on moonlight. In a clearing beyond the town, it like a girl spins round, her arms raised up, her tiny feet bare on the snowy ground. She dances to a song none hears, her face serene and sweet. She sings of an angel, pure and kind, but should you chance to meet the little girl in the woodland, then quickly close your eyes, or else you will be taken in, lost to the thing's disguise. The girl was once a mortal child, but a long time ago. She went alone on New Year's to where children should not go, into the wild and wintry wood, and there she met a fate so brutal and repellent that I will not it relate. In the shadows, the child met an ancient, hungry beast. No, it did not consume the girl, not her body, at least. Instead, it took part of her soul for its late midnight feast. It left behind her tiny corpse when she was found deceased. The people brought her back and laid her down at the kirkside. Prayers were said over her grave. The local women cried, but the girl's soul had not gone home. Her spirit, though of love, was part consumed. She could not go to that bright world above, where all the glorious angels sing their hymns to heaven's grace. Finding herself too weak to fly, the girl resumed the place where she had died. In the forest, she huddled all alone, her sorrow bit into her heart until it turned to stone. So now she dances in the dark, hoping someone will come. Another one breaking the rules, leaving their happy home. She'll draw that person to her dance, and she will keep them there until her murderer returns, called by her sharp despair. Then, another poor soul will join the dancer in the woods. The townspeople have learned that New Year's Eve portends no good. But if you're lost on New Year's, trekking through thick brush and stone, and you come on a little girl dancing barefoot, alone, close your eyes tight and turn to go, for should you longer stay, you'll find yourself bound to the dark, there to remain always. The moon is bright on this dark night, a fair sight, I believe. It gilds with silver the treetops, though it is New Year's Eve. Well, my delicious darlings, did you make it to the end of the episode? It was a scary one, wasn't it? I must admit I had a few wobbles myself. Still, I am here. If you have stayed the course, too, that bodes well for the coming months. Thank you so much for joining me for this year's first terrifying transmission. Stay warm and safe, and remember that love always drives back evil. In that knowledge, take my love with you until we meet again. I'll see you next week.